All right. So now we're moving into the second installment of our playlist challenge. For those of you who didn't catch the earlier episodes, the playlist challenge is an assignment of 5 songs grouped together by one common theme that E and I assign to each other to then rank from worst to best with no discernible criteria or meaning whatsoever.
That's right.
So today's topic is songs that have a comma in the title. And that is it. That's the only requirement.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yes. I was really looking for a punctuation related pun there, and I didn't have one in time. So,
well, you paused.
That's true.
That being ellipses.
All right. All right. So we will get to that one now.
Coming in at number 5 for me has got to be Boom Like That by Mark Knopfler.
I'm gonna San Bernardino, ring-a-ding-ding. Milkshake mixes, that's my thing now. These guys bought a heap of my stuff, and I gotta see a good thing sure enough now.
I was surprised that this was in Tank's collection. I didn't know he was a Dire Straits. I didn't know you were a Dire Straits guy.
I'm not really a Dire Straits guy.
Okay.
But I do have the greatest hits, which I found myself listening to a surprising amount of time.
Oh, okay.
And this is somewhere at the end of it. You know, where artists throw in the songs they want to hear. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the first thing I thought is like, oh, Tank must have done a Google search for songs with commas in it. Yeah. Like this not his vibe generally. Reasons for number 5, I dislike his voice. And I dislike his voice because it is sing talky, like Sean Mullins or like War on Drugs is like a more contemporary reference. I really don't like this half spoken, half singy. Even like I can never get into Leonard Cohen because it's so spoken wordy. And I gotta say, I feel like an idiot now looking back, but about a minute and 30 seconds in, I'm still can't figure. I'm like, why the fuck does he like this song? And then I realize, holy shit, this song is about McDonald's. And I'm like, I was even more confused. Like if it was a song about Taco Bell and you were recommending it, I would totally get it.
Well, I don't like this song.
Okay. That helps.
So I don't hate it.
Okay.
But I don't really like it.
Okay.
But when I was going through the options of songs with commas, it just jumped out at me. It's like, I just wonder what he's going to think about
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bit about, because he's talking about Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. And he says, he's got this line, like, it's like crocodile, but not spelled like that. Like he's introducing Ray Kroc to somebody for some reason. It was super weird. Anyway.
No, it is bad. And not to step on your toes, but with the thing that makes Mark Knopfler great, if anything, is guitar.
Oh, sure.
And specifically his guitar tone.
Okay.
That's why I listen to those Dire Straits songs so much.
Okay.
Salt and the Swing and So Far Away.
Yeah.
This song has none of that.
Okay.
It has none of what makes him good.
Okay. Got it. All right. Number 4, let's go with, again, I'm deciding this as I look at the list. Let's go with So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Jesus Christ, seriously.
This could have come in last place because it has the dumbest song title out of all 5 of the songs Tank gave me, and I won't spoil them. I had no idea this album existed. This is A Perfect Circle, who I know a handful of songs from the first record. I know a decent amount of Tool songs. I put on Tool or A Perfect Circle voluntarily, mostly by singles and not putting on a whole album. Did not know this album existed. The cover art's super weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like Maynard. And that I found that so weird because I feel like his voice is such a thing, very distinct. And it could have, you would have told me this was like Three Doors Down or some other like Five Finger Death Punch or some shit. I know that I'm probably fucking that up, but
No, it's actually the name.
okay. No, I mean, I know that's the name, but I don't know if they sound anything. Like if you would have told me any sort of pop alternative rock group did this, I'd go, okay.
Yeah.
I would never think A Perfect Circle did this song. So that's it just by not living up to expectations by the name of the band, that's where it goes. There's also a bunch of pop culture references in the song. Mm-hmm. I hate that. I hate, like, and I'm old school this way. I don't even like when people talk about social media in a song, or they mention, they called me on my cell phone or something like that. Right. I don't want to hear any of that.
You want anything that pegs it to a period in time.
Yes. Yep. Yes. We will do a whole episode about this, or I will go off on a rant about songs that are about other songs or songs that are about other artists. It's one of my pet peeves. So anyway, number 4, didn't like it. I mean, musically it's fine.
Yeah.
If they played it on the radio, I go, oh yeah, that was a radio hit.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to jump in here. I am permanently retiring from trying to guess what your number 5 song is going to be.
I want you to keep doing it. It's fun.
I mean, but I'm 0 for 2.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Number 3, let's go with Black Chick, White Guy by Kid Rock.
Black chick, white guy, does it mean shit? Maybe, I don't know, but yo, it never fazed me. But either way, here's one tale of two like that, and what prevailed. It started way back in the 8th grade, in a small old town where the two both stayed. He came from a family of middle class, where everything he did he always had to ask. She came from a place that was so alone, you know, the same old tale of a broken home. Her mama was an alkie and more like a friend.
I don't know how you didn't make this number 6.
It's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's bad. Why I didn't rank it 5 or lower. It was nice to hear a story rap for the first time in a long time. And it is just a straight up narrative. Yeah. Like it is like this happened and then this happened and this happened. Now the story itself is stupid, offensive on a number of levels, not the least of which is that he uses the N-word at one point. It's super misogynistic. I mean, yeah, shocker, it's Kid Rock and it's misogynistic, but right. I guess I didn't realize how early that kind of stuff started, because this is from what album?
I think it's from Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh, yeah, okay. But his flow actually isn't terrible, and he's not doing his growly, screamy, sort of like angry... The sort of like the later, not the later stuff.
Which ironically is this album.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It's an anomaly on this album.
Yeah. And so that I'm like, oh, I remember what Kid Rock's voice sounded like. His actual voice and his actual flow isn't terrible.
Right.
The beat was actually kind of cool. There's acoustic guitars. There's some bongos at one point. There's backing vocals that are not annoying. But yeah, like, I think part of the chorus is bitches don't mean shit to me. I mean, I'm not there for that.
I mean, bad, yes.
Yeah.
Out of line for the time in which it would, not really. You know what I mean?
Probably not. No. Yeah.
Just not, let's be honest, sounds worse coming from a white guy.
100%.
Right? It just does.
Yeah, it does. So, yeah. Okay. So that's, and also it's way too long. It's 7 minutes long.
I know. That was part of the fun for me.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's a 3-minute story told. like not even sung.
It's appropriate though, because Kid Rock is someone who should have had a 3-year career.
That's right.
And has had a 30-year career.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Right.
Number 2 is The Nang, The Front, The Bush, and The Shit by LP.
I tunnel ran to the hidden habitats of Kalar's dog inferno. No turning path back. The half man have orders to burn the village and get out with both hands intact. I'm not a mechanism born from the stain. I had to be trained. Now I catcall with dead walkers. I'll send a postcard from the Nang if I can get onto the roof in time to hang from the leg of this last chopper. Son of an weed, burn up a turban, growing the road, rotating blood on brick Texas. And others modified climate make nasty tongue plunge. Headshot. We're opposite of chameleon blends, cardinal dreadnoughts. There's this crash out of cyber wide and test on the track that you go to my mark by before I had a chance to take my life back. And it's a born band, it's a ride where we're at.
Had never heard this song before. I love the acapella intro. I really like an acapella intro in hip hop. I think it's just, or even if it's not acapella, it's got minimal instrumentation. I'm thinking of like Excursions by a Tribe Called Quest that just has that bass line, and then there's just a bass line and no beat and Q-tips going off. I love that song, and I love that idea that my vocals are so strong they can lead everything. It's what true essence of hip hop, right? I think. So I really dug that. I love the dissonance in the beat. There's a lot of like, reminds me also of like, to keep going old school with like Public Enemy, how there's like layers upon layers and like odd noises that are not melodic necessarily. There's like sounds of like things crashing into one another. And I really thought it was cool. Like it kind of keeps you on your toes as you listen. So I really like the beat too. And he does all his beats, right? I think you've told me that before. It's incredible.
His name is LP. I'm going to fuck it up. There's another song on this album where he says, "My name is LP. I produce and I rap too."
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Which is an awesome song, but there's no comment.
Got it. What else do I have here? I lost it. Oh yeah. And so, the subject matter, there's like this military recruitment thing going on in the song where, I don't know, I think he's like commenting on like people being snowed by military recruiters to go into service, I think is what he's saying. I don't know if that's a metaphor for something else of like getting suckered into something, which I thought was cool. It gave him the opportunity to use like his vocabulary obviously is insane, but like words that I'm sure have never been used in any rap songs ever prior to this song. And I'm sure he does that multiple times on throughout his career. But he loses the military recruitment stuff about halfway in. It's just gone. He doesn't talk about that stuff anymore. And I thought that was a little weird, but overall I really like it. And I felt like I need to listen to it multiple times and study it, which is a good thing in this instance, because the rapid fire nature of his flow, there's just so much.
It's dense.
It is dense. And I'd like to know more. And I bet I'd be even more impressed at the wordplay, right? And he's really good at internal rhyme, right? I'd like to listen to that. So I really dug that song. My number one song is 16 Maybe Less by Iron and Wine and Calexico.
Spent an hour with you. Should I want anything else? One grin and wink like the neon on a liquor store. We were 16, maybe less, maybe a little more. I walked home smiling. I finally had a story to tell.
I did know this song. This was the only song. I mean, I think maybe I heard Black Chick, White Guy at some point, but the rest of the songs I hadn't heard before. 16 Maybe Less, I knew the song and I have the album and I really dig. It's like, I think it's just an EP. So I'm biased that way. I think it's on, the first song on that album is He Lays in the Rains, and I love it. It's such a kick-ass song with such a cool vibe. Very somber, and then there's this really cool Spanish part. Anyway, Sam Beam from Iron and Wine, he is so good, and I've talked about Iron and Wine in previous episodes. He is so good at imagery. He paints pictures. He uses smell, touch, taste, sound. He's so adept at it. I'm always right there with him. And yeah, it's often in a small town down south somewhere. But I love that. I love that I can jump right in and I'm there. I love how he uses people's names. I think that's so cool. I don't know. I always really like that. I like when someone drops a random person's name, like first name in the song. And I'm like, I wonder if that was a real person.
Unless their name is Dude.
Yeah. Let the record show. The one line I really liked, he has, I think it's in the chorus, is, "And through an autumn time lullaby sang our newborn love to sleep." I think that's part of the chorus. As a father, that like hit me right in the gut, right? The singing a lullaby to your newborn child, it is one of the most intense emotional experiences you'll ever have. I know he's a dad. I know he's got a few kids, I think. And to hear someone be emotionally transparent or, to just be so honest, I could really connect with that as a parent, especially because so many songs about artists' kids are so bad. It was just really authentic to me. And I really, really like that. And the background vocals, I believe I looked it up. It's his wife. They're really soft and really compliment his voice really well. I legitimately love that song. It's a great song.
Cool.
This was fun. This was super fun.
Really?
It was super fun to listen to these songs because they were so different. You gave me drastically different from song to song.
Right.
And then when I was looking them up, like, I don't know how you did it, but I just sat on my couch. When you told me it was going to be songs with commas, I sat on my couch, stared off into nothing and thought, I wonder what songs I know have commas in them and that aren't the Smith songs, because, there's probably 75% of Smith songs have commas in them. So this was super fun.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So now for the 5 that E assigned me, songs with commas in them, I will start with number 5. I will say that I did not know any of these 5 songs. And
cool.
Just by looking at the titles and artists, this is the one I wanted to be number 1.
Oh, okay.
But it is instead number 5.
Underdelivered.
Yeah. And it is, I had to write this one down. It is For the Widows in Paradise, For the Fatherless, and Ypsilanti by Sufjan Stevens.
I have called you children, I have called you son. What is there to answer if I'm the only one? Morning comes in paradise, morning comes in light. Still I must obey, still I must invite. If there's anything to say, if there's anything.
So I'll start by saying I have a feeling that I might be missing something in terms of the meaning here, and that if I knew it, it might drastically change how I interpret the song.
Okay.
And the nature of what we're doing here with the playlist challenge thing, it lends itself to catchier, hookier things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because even if we want to give it a lot of our time, there's only so much time we're going to give it, right? We're not going to sit with the songs for a year.
Right. And listen to the song before and then after on the album.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if there are layers to it that are not immediately noticeable, they will probably be lost on, me with my pedestrian understanding of the song. So that being said, what I do like is the unusual instrumentation. I don't even know what that was.
It's a banjo, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But when I went and looked at the Wikipedia page as to who played what instrument, there's about 17 that he played.
That's typical.
So I'm not going to go ahead and try to guess. It's one of the 17.
Right.
But yes, probably a banjo.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the dynamics in the audio. It's sparse and it lets it breathe, which so much of what we hear now is overcompressed and too loud. I am not a big fan of repetition
Okay.
in lyrics or in singing.
Okay.
And the way this song ends is it's about a 3.5 minute song, and 1.5 minutes is the same thing being repeated.
Wow. Okay.
A couple times it's I'll do anything for you. And then another, 40 seconds of I did everything for you.
Right.
Which that change alone, again, clues me in. This is probably about something really meaningful.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that I could easily see becoming a song I love and grow emotionally attached to.
Okay.
But out of the gate, giving it from a fresh set of ears, it's like, if it's there, it's too deep and I don't get it.
Makes sense.
Right. So that's what I had at number 5.
Okay.
And at number 4, I had So Come Back, I Am Waiting by Ockerville River.
No, you're not done. All right, hell, there's plenty of light still left in your eyes. In your eyes.
So again, full disclosure, when I pull these songs up to listen to them, since I'm unfamiliar, I'm going to notice the length of the song, and it's going to maybe predispose how I listen to it or what I expect from it. So this one's 8 minutes, 4 seconds long, and I just get started. I'm like, all right, we're in for it. and the song does move slow. Now, about 3.5 minutes in, there's a big crescendo. Mm-hmm. There's a change in dynamics. And I don't dislike it.
Okay.
I maybe we need to give an average ranking to the.
Oh yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I do like it, but not crazy about his voice.
It's not good.
No,
it's not good in a traditional sense. It's very indie rock in that he generally hits the right notes, but misses a lot in between.
I think if you're going to make music like this, that has a whole lot of space around the vocals, they have to be good vocals.
Okay. Which is a good contrast to the Sufjan song.
Yes. And, and we've been talking the last couple of shows about some of the shoegazy stuff. That's, wall of sound, swirling guitars. I think you can get away with this kind of voice with that.
Okay. I can see that.
But when it's front and center, it's got to deliver.
Yeah.
And not to say he's a horrible vocalist.
Yeah.
But it stood out as, I guess the weakest part of the arrangement.
Okay.
Again, not to beat a dead horse here, but again, I like the dynamics and the sparse instrumentation. I like when musically songs are given room to breathe.
Yeah, this is slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a very slowly, this is sort of like a, if this was food, this is not a dessert. This is like escargot.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to jump out at you. It's going to take a while to get a taste for it.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Right. One note I made here is I feel like I should like this song more than I do.
Okay.
And that somehow the song is less than the sum of its parts.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot of good stuff there. It just, it didn't come together for me in a way that, I felt like, oh yeah, this is, good all the way through. But again, I've had a handful of listens.
Sure.
This definitely looks like something you have to invest in.
Yeah.
To fully understand.
Okay.
All right. So at number 3, I have Good Night, Hollywood Boulevard by Ryan Adams.
Good night, Hollywood Boulevard. Good night. See you soon. Good night, Hollywood Boulevard. Good night. See you sometime. See you sometime.
So, first of all, I'm disappointed that if you're going to give me a Ryan Adams song, that it's not Summer of '69. So I like the jazzy symphonic vibe of it. It's a mix of, kind of a boozy, smoke-filled club with an orchestra hall.
Yes.
And it's this really interesting contrast.
Yeah.
But it works. In stark contrast to number 4, he does have the voice and the vocal delivery to pull something like this off.
That's fair.
His voice kind of pulls me into the song.
Okay.
And feels like it does bring everything together. And I also made a note here that on an emotional level, I'm a big time sucker, just like you are for like a cappella intros for hip hop.
Yeah.
Anything that is wistful and saying goodbye.
Oh, okay.
I'm always going to
like. Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Because there's so many songs that, again, I mean, we covered it in the last episode, right? Where when the lyrics are about saying goodbye, it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so the way that this one ends, it really works. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, most of my perception of Ryan Adams was somewhat negative because it just, I think in general, the stories about him, he sounds like maybe a dick.
A total scumbag. Yeah. Right. And like especially when it comes to women.
Right. Yeah. So I haven't heard a whole lot positive, but got to admit, strong song, and I'll be digging a little more into his stuff and seeing what I can pull out of it.
Cool. And I think a coming episode probably is, we've talked about in the past, when bad people make good music.
Right.
And I think he's a definite candidate for me, for someone I really liked and then became an asshole.
And with the explosion of social media, we're finding out more and more of those people.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah.
All right. At number 2, I have Fix Up, Look Sharp by Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah. Keep
So for the first 2 or 3 times I went through this was when I first put these songs together, this was my number one.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I heard it and I'm like, oh fuck yes.
I thought you would like this. I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, just the for a lot of the same. I think we have very similar tastes in hip hop. Right?
Yes.
I think that's clear by now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's simple. It's just
It is.
It's just a classic drum beat, and he's just going off. It's super punchy.
It
like,
is.
I like that part of it.
Yeah.
And his British accent, it enhances it. So like one album I do own is by Tiny Tempa,
Okay.
who's another British rapper.
Okay.
And I feel like they get an unfair advantage, like because it just sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
I made a note: Shades of ODB.
Really?
I just get a little bit of an Old Dirty Bastard vibe from his kind of. He sounds disheveled.
I like sounds disheveled. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And then the final thing that I really liked about it is how timeless it is. So this song is from 2003. It's 20 years old.
It's crazy.
And if this came out today, it wouldn't sound dated
I don't think so.
at all.
Yeah.
But I guess again, that's one of the benefits of doing it simple, right?
Yes.
But it's a unique kind of off kilter flow. Voice is unique. Beat is simple. I like it a lot.
Awesome.
So that comes in at number 2. At number 1, we have Goodness Part 2 by The Hotelier.
There's a kind and immediate hushing. There's a setting and felt and cold. With her down to our basic components, we are naked at best and alone. In the drone of the open air yawning. Couldn't help but feel any less small. In these days we will wear the same blanket. In these days we feel nothing. At
I am shocked. I am shocked. I thought you would hate this. Incredible.
Yeah.
Love it.
So again, I had Dizzy Rascal at number 1 because from the top, it's the one that jumped out, and it's just like, oh yeah, that is number 1. This is just I'm going to listen to the other 4 now and see where they go. So I had this one at number 2, and then as I was making some notes, I listened to it again, and I'm like, I don't know. I really like, and again, the drum beat throughout the whole song,
Yeah.
it just bump, 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 bump. It's just propulsive, and it doesn't let up. And there's a couple parts in the middle where that's literally all there is.
Yes.
And so it's a unique instrumentation. Again, simple, great snare sound, great dynamics on the drums, and strong vocals as well. So
Yeah. It's got a unique voice. I think
Yeah.
unique enough, I think.
and on top of the vocals, the lyrics, very strong. And I think one of the differences, or one of the things that I realized, I guess, in doing this is if we go back to the number 5 song where I talk about the lyrics that I may not get, and I'm sure there's a lot of songs like that. I do like when the artist paints a picture with the words,
Sure.
so I don't have to guess that much.
Okay.
And they definitely have done that in this song here. So there's one excerpt that I took note of. And the drone of the open air yawning couldn't help me feel any less small. In these days, we will wear the same blanket, and these days we feel nothing at all. It's just good.
Yeah, it's great.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
really
it's just it's sonically pleasing. You know, it makes you want to think about it. And in the context of the rest of the lyrics, there's a definite feeling you're getting. You don't have to guess at what it's about.
Right.
You may not know exactly, but you know roughly what it's about.
Absolutely.
So between those vocals, again, the drums, man, I'm also a sucker for drums.
Okay.
Good drums, I'm going to like
Nice.
100% of the time. But everything, it's upbeat, it moves fast, It's just a really good song. So this is another album I'm planning on buying and digging into.
Nice.
Speaking of album, heads up on the album cover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. On Spotify, I pulled it up. It looked like just a pixelated square. I'm like, oh, okay, modern art. And then on another website, it's. I'm gonna leave it for you folks out there to find out.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the pixelated version.
Okay, well, a little show and tell after.
I feel like there's a couch in the woods.
Oh, there is not a couch, my friend.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that wraps up this installment of the playlist challenge.
Perfect.
And we'll be back in our next episode or somewhere down the road with another playlist challenge.
Maybe it's time to wave goodbye now. Time